Utah lawmakers cracked down on road rage last year, and is their new law working? We are learning some preliminary data about road rage trends across the state, and public safety leaders are giving an update on how Utah's new road rage law is working. Here's KSL NewsRadio's Adam Small.
Since lawmakers added a criminal road rage enhancement last year, authorities say prosecutors have filed nearly 150 of those enhanced charges statewide. But Utah Highway Patrol Colonel Michael Rapich tells state lawmakers they hope they can learn more about what contributes to road rage as time goes on.
Who's involved? What other violations were involved? Was alcohol involved? Was domestic violence involved? What are some of the contributing factors?
Rapich also shared some trends they found while tracking road rage over the last few years. They found since 2019, men account for nearly 90% of road rage deaths in Utah, and they tend to spike around April and May. And the most common day they see road rage is on Sundays. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
Maybe they should go to church instead.
Sunday, that's the day we go out. I have a motorcycle, and I ride, and that's the day you go out for a ride. That's
right.
You go out for a Sunday drive with a motorcycle or with your car or whatever. It's with the leaves changing. That should be the day you're the most calm
and you're ragey.
Yes.
Ragey. So I hope this doesn't make me sound too biased, but I'm not surprised that most road rage deaths come from men.
Oh, no, not at all. No, because men are more likely to want to engage in combat. You know what I mean? I mean, really, my wife, she'll come home and she'll just be scared. You can tell that something's bothering her, and she'll say, I cut somebody off in traffic, and they started following me, and they're doing this, and maybe if you have a man who's being chased by a man, they'll stop and say, "Hey, what's going on?"
They'll just pull out again.
Right, or what? Yeah, or do something crazy like road rage. And she's like, she can't get home soon enough. Yeah. She just wants to get out of the situation. And so, it doesn't surprise me for 1 second. It does surprise the Sunday thing surprises me.
Sunday. And what's interesting is the springtime, right? And this is like they don't know the why behind it. They just know the numbers. And so it's more common in May and April, the top 2 months, accounting for about 28% of the cases since 2019.
No explanation for that, except maybe, and I'm just
maybe
completely
it's pollen.
Or you just you're through with all the
winter
and the snow and everything, and you're back to freeway speeds and not being afraid to go fast. But I would say this: if you're looking at numbers, and we're not necessarily looking at just the pure numbers. If you say, okay, we had X number of road rage cases over so many years, and then we pass a law to enhance it and to sort of redefine it, you're going to have a lot more, because you've just made the net bigger.
Right.
You're going to have a lot more road rage cases. So I would expect that the law actually increased the number of road rage arrests, but probably, I'll give the legislature credit. I think it probably decreased the incidence of road rage overall, but just I see what you're saying. We have more people that are going to be charged with that, whereas before they'd be charged with reckless driving or something like that.
Do you remember the enhancements? Because I think it was something with. Do you have it was with consequences, wasn't it? So if you have more than one incident of road rage,
so it's enhanced. Some crimes have these 3 strikes rules.
Right.
So your first one becomes a serious crime. If you have future ones, they get worse. But if even just the road rage itself enhances what would otherwise be a traffic offense to be a more serious crime. So just the levels of crimes we have in Utah, you can elevate those by virtue of the fact that it involved a road rage incident. Because what they're trying to do is discourage people from getting out of the cars.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to make hand gestures or do all these other inappropriate things, just at least keep driving. But when you get to the point where you're cutting someone off, or you're bumping cars, or you're bumping bodies, then you've crossed the line for everybody that gets involved in that. Yeah. We've even had, how many deaths we've had?
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy that you would think you're driving home from work one day and you get so mad at somebody that you cause, or you're the one that's killed. I mean, that's just lunacy.
Look, one of the other things they looked at was unlicensed drivers, and one of the things that they said is we don't have a great way to track who is driving without a license until there's some kind of an incident.
Until they're stopped,
right? Until they're stopped. But maybe there could be legislation. I'm looking at a KSL.com article about this data, right? But there's a number of reasons people might be driving without a license. Maybe they never had one. Maybe it's been suspended. I mean, in fact, it's interesting that the spike of unlicensed drivers started during the pandemic, but it stayed higher. Like, it hasn't gone back down, which is kind of like the schools, absenteeism.
crashes involving unlicensed drivers is up. Motorcycle fatalities is up. Let me give you my theory on unlicensed drivers. I think we have more unlicensed drivers than we had before because we have more crimes that take a person's license away. And so
Do we?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, DUI used to be, you get a restricted license. Now they take it away. You can take it away for a period of time. It can be a greater period of time. We take people's license away for hit and run. You can take people's license away for all kinds of things. And what happens though, Holly, unfortunately, is people continue to drive. So as we pass more laws taking people's license away,
They just drive anyway.
we create more unlicensed drivers on the road. And I'm not saying that the legislature is wrong. I think in large part they're right. It seems like you end up with more unlicensed drivers on the road.
I have a story about my grandma. She was living in Utah, and they took her license away. I think she was 90. She passed away when she was 6 weeks shy of 102 2 years ago. But she was about 90 years old. She had lost her ability to really see well at night. And they just said, at a certain age, you have to come in and retest. And she was very offended that they took her license away. The only thing she drove after that, though, as far as I am aware, is her little gardening cart. It was like a little golf cart, so she could
There
still
you go.
garden.
Right, yeah. It's disturbing to me as a motorcycle owner that motorcycle fatalities are up. But
I know,
it
we've
just
been
seems
talking
like we
about
talk
that.
about that a lot. I mean, every weekend there's a
Yeah.
motorcycle fatality.
Yeah, there were 2 last weekend, actually. Yeah, and I just saw what I thought was so unsafe yesterday in that heavy traffic, that coming in I-15, it doubled my commute, and there was a motorcyclist weaving in and out, and he pulled right in front of me. I could see him, but the person on my left, he was going to merge over. It looked
yeah.
like there was a space, and he had pulled right into that truck's blind spot.
Yeah, my wife and I were driving to the Greek Festival a couple weekends ago, week and a half ago, and there were a bunch of motorcyclists just standing there on the side of the road, and I looked down, and a motorcyclist had left the roadway. I went down and responded because of my medical training as EMT, and she was okay. Well, relatively. Her motorcycle was a disaster, but I thought, boy, if it hadn't been a grassy hill,
Oh,
if
yeah.
it had been a rocky hill,
yeah.
or it had been a hard rock itself, I mean, she went off the road and down the hill
Oh, gosh.
and ruined her bike and banged herself up, but she could have been
She's
killed.
still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys be safe out there, okay?